The Belko Experiment is directed by Greg McLean, written by James Gunn, and it stars a humongous cast including Tony Goldwyn, John C. McGinley, John Gallagher Jr., among others. This is about 80 employees of an office building who get trapped inside there one day and they now have to kill each other. A voice coming from the intercoms tells them they have to kill a certain amount of people in a certain amount of times, and if they don't do so, they will kill double that amount of people. The Belko Experiment is a fantastic concept of The Office meets Battle Royale, let's say. For the most part, I had fun with this film because there's a great script that unfortunately doesn't get all the way taken advantage of. I think the all-around cast is great. John Gallagher Jr. plays a great role in this. I really liked him in this movie. And also Tony Goldwyn. Tony Goldwyn has this dark edge to him, and he portrays that very well. And I'm not the hugest fan of the guy, so I was really surprised and happily surprised at that I really liked him as well in this movie. I liked him as the performance, not necessarily I like the character and what he's doing and his decisions. No. Not that. Also, John C. McGinley. I'm not the hugest fan of Scrubs, but I know this guy was there, and I watched it from time to time. And this guy, for his age, is huge. I mean, he is menacing. I mean, just his presence physically in the film and how he acts around other people. His whole character is really creepy. That unfortunately also doesn't get taken full advantage of, but for what he did, it worked. Whenever they tried to do something with his character, it worked for me. Two other actors that I really enjoyed, but not so much their characters. Owen Yeoman? I hope I pronounced that correctly. I know this guy from The Mentalist. I thought he was great. I thought he was really great in this film. He had this vulnerability to him. He was one of the most sympathetic characters in this movie in general. But he suddenly just wasted. Suddenly, the movie stops caring for him, and we start moving on to other characters. And I understand how it's different to shuttle characters around with such a humongous cast. But so much focus was on this guy, on the first and the first part of the second act of the film, that I was really surprised and not happily surprised that he was kind of just put to the side. Also, Melanie Diaz in this film is just a character that serves no purpose. You see the movie, you follow her throughout, the movie keeps cutting back to her. It follows more main characters, then it cuts back to her. And you feel like this character is going to do something. But by the end of the film, you just feel like, why did I cut back to that? And there was no purpose to keep cutting back to that character. Sean Gunn is in this movie and he is great. I thought he was fantastic. He is the comedic relief, and as far as comedy is concerned in this movie, his comedy is the one that worked for me. We're going to talk a bit more about the comedy in a little bit, but Sean Gunn was just great, and I really liked this character, also very sympathetic. But there is one aspect about his character that I really don't understand, because this movie is very well set up. The setup for this movie is fantastic, not only as far as the script is concerned, as far as the pitch is concerned, but also how they set up film-wise. The direction, the editing, the dialogue, everything is set up really well. Then we know certain things for sure in this film. Suddenly we cut back to Sean Gunn in the second act of the film, and he is paranoid about water. It's not like the movie was trying to make you think that, oh, maybe it's something in the water that scatters their brain or something. No, we know for a fact, water has nothing to do with this situation. I thought the direction of this movie was serviceable. It's serviceable, it's fine, it's a movie you watch on TV and it's okay. The script, however, by James Gunn has a lot of shining moments that are not allowed to shine through due to the direction and the editing, I might add. There are moments where the editing is really choppy, and this is mostly low-budget filmmaking. This is from Blumhouse, we know it. And that's all fine and dandy. I like Blumhouse Studios movies. But in this instance, they just seem like they chose the wrong director to the wrong script. There's a fitting requirement here, and I do not think that was fulfilled. Again, the direction is fine, and maybe for a different script, for a different tone in the film, it would have worked even better. For this script, when they try to put in visual comedy, when they try to put a little bit of satire and sarcasm into the film, it really comes off in the wrong way, because the movie is overtly serious about its situation. And this is a dreadful situation. I did think throughout the movie, how would I handle this? Or how would I handle that? it makes you think for about 5 minutes. Because again, the directing is not bad, the script is not bad, they don't let each other shine and they cancel each other out almost completely. I will say, however, that one aspect that I really liked about this film was that it felt very experimental filmmaking. This film is from a director who hasn't directed many films, that I know he has directed too. One I like, one I don't. This is also a very low-budget film. So, again, let's lend to the experimental filmmaking. He's working with a huge cast, but no big names. In fact, the biggest name you see here is Michael Rooker, who is here, my guess, I don't know, I can be wrong, maybe I am, he's a friend of James Gunn. And lending to the fact that I personally see it as an experimental film is that it's trying to present an idea. It's mostly a concept. It's something that you present and there's ideas that you can make of it, but it's not more than that. And I think the director could work very well on more pitch films from this. And mirroring the thematics of the film, this movie looks to be an experiment. And that is not a pun on the title. The thematic of the film is how would humans handle this situation? And again, makes you think for a little bit. I don't think the Belko Experiment is a bad movie. I think it's alright. It's fine. You can watch it with friends. I am not saying I had a bad time watching it. I actually enjoyed myself. It's not overly long, it's just 90 minutes. It served its purpose. I don't have the need to watch the Belko Experiment ever again, but if a friend asks me, well, I want to watch the Belko Experiment, do you want to come over? I will say, yeah, sure. I'll watch it with a friend. Because the Belko Experiment doesn't shine all the way through, but also doesn't crumble down. So I will say the Belko Experiment is fine, but if you watch it or not, your heart will go on. What did you think of the Belko Experiment, my beautiful geekies? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? And let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite social experiment movie? And as you go down there to the comments, check the description to go to the link to the Beautiful Geeky Community Facebook group. The link is in there as always. Thank you so much for watching, my beautiful geekies. Thank you for voting on the poll on Facebook. Saturday, I'll bring you a review to The Assignment, and we will have some fun talking about that. So until then, you stay beautiful, you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so we can be geeky united!